Hello and welcome back for round 2 with Astral Slide. I'm Drew Levin and I'm playing against John Maria Cart, who, if you're European, you certainly recognize his name from his finishes at Grand Prix Paris and the Bazaar of Moxon. If you're American and you keep up with Magic Online deck lists, you're surely aware of his various 4-color ShardlessBUG concoctions on Magic Online that seemingly always do well. Regardless, he's a very talented player, always brings something good to the table, or at least something very interesting. And so this should be a fun match. We are on the draw rather. We've got some lands, we've got removal, a long game, and an Eternal Witness that we can't quite cast, but lands in case we don't draw them, and Eternal Witness to sort of go long. I wouldn't put Leger on being a short, brutal, aggressive deck, so I would guess that we're better off playing these lands than cycling them. Misty Rainforest into Wasteland, however. Well, it could be anything. Okay, so as usual, Leger is on some Shardless deck. Also, we're like a land and a life from the loam away from being capable of like running the slide sundial combo. Although, obviously we would prefer to just draw Terminus off of our deck and take out his Tarmogoyfs that way. Upside is no more Tarmogoyfs, downside is stuck on 2 lands. But I'm actually alright with that. We can run this out here on 2 rather than discard. Trades for an Abrupt Decay, which is better than I was expecting, to be perfectly honest with you. But, seems like a pretty easy discard and treat the Angels, since we are nowhere close to casting that one. So, we've got our Astral Slide established. We don't have much in the way of cyclers, and we're short. Abrupt Decay is just no fun, man. It is the antithesis of fun. When you think of fun, you don't think of Astral Slide. That's for sure. So our opponent kept their we might as well just run out Tybalt. They like their last card. We aren't particularly attached to any of them. Any of the ones that are in our hand, rather. So they've used 2 Abrupt Decays. They didn't activate Lily on the last turn, which means that whatever they've got in their hand they particularly want. So I would guess a Shardless Agent, but they didn't cast it last turn, did they? So it's got to be a reactive card. They didn't Abrupt Decay Tybalt. Seismic Assault, not great right now. Oh dear. Why did they? Sure. Well, time to roll the dice. We lose, but we get to discard the spare Tybalt. At some point. I gotta be honest, you guys. I know you guys really wanted me to play with this card, but like, it is... We've activated it a lot, and it has not done nearly as much as you want a Planeswalker to do, basically ever. Like, the minus abilities are both like fairly underwhelming. And I get that like a lot of those activations were against a combo deck where like they were casting Force of Will. So like, I sympathize. We're gonna hold this cycling land in hopes of hitting an Astral Slide. Barring that, we are going to cycle, completely mess up, and yeah, wow. We did not play well for being a deck that has Terminus in it. That was quite bad. We really must be a little more aware of that. So they fired off their Wasteland. So the question is whether they want to trade their last card for our last card, or if they can just cast their last card. Okay. Well, now we're very much dead. Okay. We cannot possibly win this game. So we want some chokes and probably another engineered explosives for... I don't know. The sundial seems cuter than it is good. The Seismic Assault seems pretty bad against like grindy black decks. And I mean, Scroll Rack, if we don't have a ton of cards in our hand, isn't going to be very good. Whereas, like, cards that stop them from playing Magic or, like, catch us up are all just fine. I think this is what we want, but I think we really just needed to hit more lands. Like, this is a super mana hungry deck. We play 31 mana sources, and we got stuck on mana for a short period of time. And that was really, like, what did us in, is not being able to develop our mana base. Like, half of our deck is mana. We bricked on mana, we lost. That's cool, but it is what it is. If I had to anticipate what they're bringing in, what he's bringing in, I would guess that it's some number of like surgical extraction type cards, situationally powerful, aimed at fighting inevitability. More planeswalkers might be fine. Notion Thief also fine. Right, like cycling does in fact ask to draw a card. So like you can Notion Thief the hell out of this deck. But Punishing Fire is a very powerful card against ShardlessBUG decks. We will absolutely keep this hand. So we are going to cast Life from the Loam for 1 card and pass. And go straight into dredging it on turn 2. So they Thoughtseize us, and he's probably going to take Astral Slide, since we have Eternal Witness and Life from the Loam. Oh, takes Eternal Witness. Yeah, we would love to dredge. Taking Eternal Witness is fine, but like... I don't know. I think we want a draw step here. And yeah, we just wanted a comes into play untapped land. So that we can do this and then slide out Tarmogoyf. And until he has Abrupt Decay. We get to fog his Tarmogoyf. We don't want to return Life from the Loam here, because then he can just Thoughtseize it. We do want to draw Life from the Loam now. So... Ooh, no, that was a mistake. We should have Wastelanded him. So, lesson learned there. But if we have any way of killing this Tarmogoyf, for instance, we can activate this fetch land and cycle our Secluded Step and hit Terminus. We don't. Okay. Not Dredging Limb. So I think we just have to hardcast Terminus. Which is fine. I guess, yeah, we don't want to cast Tybalt then, because it gets attacked and dies for no value. So we're gonna cycle this. Not gonna use Dredge. Okay. Playing Windswept Teeth was also like awkwardly loose, because if they abrupt decay this Mox Diamond, then we're just SOL. Similarly, if they have Force or anything else, then we're just dead here. Like that. So now we lose. Which is awkward because we really should have been in this game a little more than we were. But, yeah, that's just what happens. Yeah. So, the reason why we lost is we mismanaged our Life from the Loam, I think. And certainly on the turn where, like this turn just now, we could have cast Scroll Rack and activated it, and put back Terminus, and tried to draw a Life from the Loam or a Cycling Land. And then Loam for Cycling Land and cycle into... actually, yeah, Loam for Cycling Land doesn't let us pay for Terminus. But... yeah, I guess we probably just didn't cast enough impactful spells. And the turn that we Wastelanded, we were just going to get Abrupt Decayed regardless. Yeah, I'm not really sure like what we could have done differently, but oh yeah, it was playing the Windswept Teeth. Like this should have been in play instead of the Windswept Teeth. We could have had another turn to draw to something else. But live and learn. I'll be back in a bit.